Hello, so tribe friends and family. Now, this is going to be a message for all signs today. So just take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't for the next person. If you would like a personal one-on-one tarot reading, Akashic Records, Quantum Reiki, or anything else, go to 144bluerosetemple.com. Or you can email me. All that information's in the box below. And just as always, thank you for all of your love. Thank you for all of your support. And thank you for being here today. If my energy or my readings resonate with you, feel free to subscribe, click on that notification bell, and go click on that like button so you can know when the next reading does come out, and so I can connect more with your energy in the readings. All right, and I'm seeing something here. Your order is ready. There's something that's ready for you. We do have Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? Okay, collective, right away. You are ready to step up and to lead. Now, this could be with your Priestess, soul gifts, and embodiment, whether that be, say, shamanic, mystic, sage. And that is very much the energy of this full moon in Virgo of the Pisces season is, those who are being called to lead. I'm also hearing steward or leader of the new earth to do that. Now, Temple of Sekhmet may resonate with you specifically, or even Bastet, as I'm seeing the lion over here, a lot of the Sekhmet energy. So even Egypt can resonate with you. Now, why do we have Priestess? Why do we have Priestess here for all signs? Divine knowing, higher knowing, the spirit whisperer over here, okay? Why do we have Priestess and the spirit whisperer? Small steps, and then you do have asking for help over here. So maybe you could be asking for help at this time on your journey. Someone else could also be asking you for help, because we do have divine guidance and higher knowing. All right, now I'm going to grab some other cards of advice. What else do we have for small steps, asking for help, Priestess, divine guidance, and higher knowing? We do have Oshun, sweet success over here. Okay, so I do see just a lot of success that surrounds you. For those of you who are soul business owners, who are priest, priestess, who are medicine man, woman, however you identify, what I'm actually hearing is that people are going to start seeking your advice, seeking your wisdom. There is definitely a big quantum shift, a paradigm shift that is happening in the collective. All right, more and more people are going to start seeking spiritual advice. And this has just been coming through. If you go to a therapist that spent 10 years going to school, maybe less, that is how a high priest or high priestess is going to be seen in the future. Except they did 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Except the school never ends because it's Earth School. There is a big quantum shift that is happening, and light workers, you are needed in this world. There are going to be big shifts in society and in our outer worlds where people are going to seek you. People are going to seek spiritual advice because they understand that in order to create your reality, you do need to have some sort of spiritual connection or connection to Source, God, finding it within yourself. Light workers, even priest, priestess, shaman, sage, whatever it is, you are needed, and you are going to be so successful on your journey because things are shifting. I'm going to grab a few more cards. And we have the card Yes that comes out right away. Okay, and again, put this into perspective. If people will go to someone, say for business, or say a brain surgeon, whatever it is, a high priest or a high priestess spends their entire life in study. You are just as valuable, and you are just as worthy, and you will be just as sought out in society. High priest, high priestess, shaman, sage, mystic, you will. Now, why do we have small steps in asking for help? Priestess, sweet success, spirit whisperer. Now, someone wasn't ready for you over here. We do have I wasn't ready over here. We have runes over here, full moon. So a full moon can mean something to you as well as weight. Okay, now it is the full moon in Virgo. It could be that. It could also just be full moons in general are asking for you to surrender, to release, and not necessarily manifest or do those types of things. Now, runes can also resonate with you. We also have I wasn't ready. Why do we have I wasn't ready? Mirroring. Major glow up. Hex fortune. Someone didn't quite see you over here. Someone didn't quite see you. You mirrored someone, and you're now only being extremely blessed. I want to grab from this deck. I'm going to grab for this first. What's coming is, it's almost like I'm smelling it. Fear. With the High Priest or High Priestess journey, there's no room for fear. We can only release fear and come just more into love. Now, what I am seeing is that perhaps there's like someone here though that like was not ready. Why do we have I wasn't ready and Hex? Why do we have I wasn't ready and Hex? Eight of Swords over here, Queen of Wands. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a hex and black magic. It can be if that resonates with your story. You know, it could also just be words. It could be wishing upon this or that. Why Eight of Swords with the Queen of Wands here for I wasn't ready? We have Nine of Wands over here. Okay, so we do have a Queen of Wands here, though, that, like, wasn't ready. What were they not ready for? We have the Death card for change. And then we do have Magician card over here, too. Death and rebirth is only asking for you to change. Over here with the Death card. Now, I do see mirroring, right? A high priest or a high priestess is a mirror, but it's only a mirror of love. I do see here that someone took the mirror the wrong way and like maybe thought that you were doing something, or that, like, I mean, high priest, high priestess energy, it brings up, yes, like light, but it also brings up the shadow in other people. It's like, oh, can I trust that high priest, high priestess? What is that high priest or priestess going to do? Are they going to use whatever? Like their magic, their this, their that. A high priest or high priestess couldn't, wouldn't, and shouldn't be doing any of those things. A true, like, you know, high priest, high priestess is a high priest or priestess of the earth, of Gaia, of Sophia, of God. Not for the ego, not to, like, you know, not for the ego. You serve God as a high priest or as a high priestess, source, whatever resonates with you. What I do see is that there was like some sort of transformation, but someone took it the wrong way and thought that you were like doing something bad to them. So like, you're ready here to step up and lead. That's why this is coming. That's why this reading is coming up, collective. Only call in the people that are ready for you. If, like, as a high priest, as high priestess, as a light worker, hold out your hand and let the people come to you. But don't go like this. I'm here and I'm ready to serve with love. And let the people come all the way to your hand to grab it. But don't you reach out. And just as, like, say it, for example, you are a high priest or priestess, or just have all of that witchy, beautiful energy. That is something that I've seen almost every single high priest or priestess say, is that after some time they learn, oh, okay, I'm just going to let the people come to me, that, you know, because you are someone who, like, yes, you are here to heal, but your healing gifts are, and we do have the lion here, you heal on a cellular, on a DNA level. You bring death and rebirth. You bring this and that, or this or that. Now, some people may take that the wrong way. When it comes to spirituality, yes, it is going to be leading in the future. But let people come to you, because there are still patriarchal wounds in this world of like, oh no, they have to be doing something bad. They have to be doing some sort of magic or this or that, which actually leads to the opposite, where the high priests or priestesses are being attacked, or the light workers are being attacked by people who are in fear. And I've seen it happen. And so that's what this looks like, collective, where you're being called to step up and lead. And you're going to be very successful as you do so. You've been blessed with this wisdom to share it, and people will ask you for help. But what's also coming through is let people come all the way to you. So let's see what this reading is, the full reading for you, collective. We do have wealth and luxury here, and then a higher heart opening. Now, what do we have for the collective, for this major glow up for Priestess, asking for help, Oshun, sweet success, the spirit whisperer. Why do we have asking for help, Priestess, sweet success, the spirit whisperer? Why do we have asking for help? Yes. Allow them to come all the way to you. You have done a lot of work on yourself, on your journey. If you are high priest or priestess, and I'm seeing king, okay? King, queen, you've done a lot of work on yourself. You've released a lot of burdens. And so you are receiving reward for your hard work. You have a beautiful future ahead of you. And with that beautiful future, protect that. Protect the hard work it is that you've done on yourself. Protect, for those of you who are light workers, it's so hard. Not even that it's so hard. We're not going to say that. It's easy. It's easy. We're reframing, changing the story. In the past, it could be hard to be so open with your spiritual gifts. 11:11. Just walk down looking like a high priestess, or a high priest, or like a shaman. People look at you a particular way. In society, people have their patriarchal wounds. It's not easy to be an open light worker, or say to do it full time. But what you do need to know, the light worker that is watching me today, you are being called to step up and to lead. You are going to be very successful for all of the work that you have done in the seen and the unseen. And you're going to receive a lot of rewards for your hard work. You have a very bright future ahead of you. But what it does require is the two swords up. Where no, they cannot cross the fence, allowing them to come all the way. And that is actually your protection. That's not you being a not nice person. That is not you being a not nice light worker. That is protecting yourself of like, hey, I am so ready to serve. I'm so open to serve. When they have shown all of their interest, we have the death card over here. Now, why the 10 of Wands over here? 9 of Cups. Why 3 of... Yeah, you have a lot of celebrations. Why 2 of Swords here? But to maintain and to keep these celebrations, I do see you having a boundary. Page of Pentacles over here, protecting your hard work. And with that, the way that you can avoid, like people that will come in and whether it's mirror reflections or this or that or negativity, or like say people who aren't quite ready for maybe your spiritual path, for maybe what it is that you have to share with them. I do see you as an earth angel here, but, maybe some of you help people through death and rebirth processes. I remember a shamanic ceremony I held, and this woman was extremely mad at me and the shaman that I held it with. And afterwards, she was like, why would you guys make me cry the whole time? I drove here for me to cry? I didn't drive here for me to cry. And she was so mad at me and the shaman. And then she apologized 4 days later of, oh, that was already within me. And so you guys were only taking out what was already in my subconscious or unconscious. And if you're a part of my email newsletter, I did talk about this shaman recently. He's a friend of mine. But I do remember a woman was so upset with the healing, but she was happy afterwards because, yes, the death and rebirth, it's not fun and easy when you're going through it. When we're giving birth to a child, I'm so thankful for my child, but like that hurt, and to be initiated is to go through perhaps a death and rebirth, a deep healing, more of a release of the pain, of the shadows that were taking up space, the burdens, 10 of Wands over here, that were taking up space, that didn't serve us. When you take medicine, the medicine like Robitussin is maybe not so great the first sip, but you're going to ultimately feel better. And those are some of the teachings of the mysteries of Kalima, which Kalima is a goddess of death and rebirth. And so collective, what I am seeing here is like you have a gift, and that is the Sekhmet energy as well. It's death and rebirth. But what I do see here is some sort of situation, maybe situations where someone took it personal of like, oh my God, I don't know. I see something karmic over here when it comes to someone that like you held the hand open to heal. And so there's some sort of new boundary, what Spirit is showing you of, no, collective, these are your gifts and you're going to be so successful as you do so. One way you can protect yourself on your path is the person comes all the way to you. You're not reaching out. Like, yes, maybe like, posting your services and things like that. But people have to come all the way to you, and that's the sign that they're ready. And so what I am seeing though is that that's a way for you to protect yourself on your path as well as your success. Soul alignment will really just call in the souls that are aligned with you, that see your soul, that see your soul gifts, that are aligned even with the spiritual path that you are on. Why do we have Page of Swords and Two of Swords here? Why do we have Page of Swords and Two of Swords? It's going to be of discernment, okay? It says protection. It says ideas, inspiration. With the Page of Swords, we know the Page of Swords is a protector, okay? And so we have the Page of Cups, the Five of Wands. There's a shift in perspective about your path. You're going to be very successful, but sometimes, and it's not to say anything about those people, but it is true that sometimes people are not necessarily ready to heal. Where it's like, well, I feel very comfortable with this old story and I don't want to let go of it. Or why would I want to go through a whole day of crying, etc.? Because the release is what makes room. And again, you are someone who is powerful. You are someone who has beautiful healing gifts. Cellular, you bring transformation to people. But being aware that sometimes people are not going to take it the right way. And so again, the protection for you is when people are ready, the teacher will appear. And that is actually your protection. You will appear in people's lives when they're ready for whatever medicine it is that you hold and that you have. Because I do see that you have some intense medicine here. Sekhmet, Kalima, you have the death card, and you're going to have even better experience, even like when it comes to serving. So again, this reading is for light workers. When you do have those boundaries. And again, it's not to say like no to certain people, but it protects you. Because what I do see is when you don't do that, there's people who are like, hey, I would like a little bit of a sip, but they just don't want the whole cup. It's kind of like ayahuasca. You are like collective. Whoever that I'm reading for, you are a cup of ayahuasca. And they need to be ready to have that cup of ayahuasca because there's no little sips. You are a sip of whiskey or a sip of ayahuasca, which to say those two at the same time. But you get where I'm going with that one. They either don't want to sip it at all or they're ready for the whole cup of ayahuasca. And so that is your soul medicine. You could be like a walking ayahuasca, walking high priest, high priestess, whatever it is. Okay, and I do see you experiencing such beautiful rewards for your hard work. But it does come as you trust your discernment, your intuition, your boundaries, and as you set those boundaries, because it only actually allows for a better experience for all involved. Now, what is the advice for the collective? Stand your ground, set your boundaries. And you have Two of Cups, so with people. And again, this is not to say, how do I want to word this? With the Seven of Wands, what this reading is saying is that there are very specific people that are meant for your soul medicine, and your boundaries help to only attract the people that are meant for your soul medicine. And again, for the benefit of all involved. Okay, now what is the, well, we got some advice. What is some more advice for the collective? Page of Wands, you have good news coming in, okay? And then Ace of Swords, the truth. So holding up this sword, holding up your sword, collective, it is only, again, for not only your benefit, but for the benefit of all. And you have some sort of something very unique about your soul medicine. You may also just be someone who you bring transformation, death and rebirth, Sekhmet, Kalima, just all of that type of energy. And so, but you have good news coming in, okay? You are attracting all of the souls that are meant for you, all of the even co-creators that are meant to co-create with you. And you're meant to have a very beautiful and successful life, even as a light worker, and you are going to thrive. And one thing that's going to help you is the boundaries. Okay, so that's what I have for you. I do hope that this resonates. I'm going to grab some cards of advice. What are some cards of advice for the collective here? We do have new moon, so there could be something with the new moon coming in, or a new moon cycle. What are some other? We have soulmate, wealthy person. Okay, so you do, again, there's a lot of abundance that surrounds you. What I am saying is you are meant to be very abundant in your light work. And there are also soulmates that are coming in for you. Now, what else do we have for the collective? We do have experiencing grace. Share your gifts with grace. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. Paul the Venetian. So Paul the Venetian may resonate with you, or even the name Paul. And then we do have soul expansion and Isis over here. So there's definitely a lot of expansion happening in your life. And share your gifts with grace. This is a gift of yours. It's not something to be ashamed of. You bring death and rebirth, but that brings true ultimate healing on a soul level. And so call in with soul aligned, because you have some potent soul medicine. I'm going to grab some other cards of advice. What are some other cards of advice? We do have forgive here. Okay, now there was some sort of situation in the past. There's a lot of forgiveness that is coming through over here. Forgive. You know, and I kind of want to share this story too, that I have one mentor that I've had for 6 years, a shaman. Every single time he comes into my life, I go through a rebirth. Every single time. Whenever he's like, hey, I'm coming around your state, I'm like, okay, I'm getting ready to have a whole rebirth, you know? And that's just something though that I'm aware of. Oh, that mentor is coming. I know what soul medicine he carries. So I know that if I even have a conversation with him, I'm probably going to go through some sort of activation in my life, you know, and just being aware of that, you know? So like I've even told this to that particular shaman, like, hey, I'm going through a lot right now. I'm staying over here because you always bring me a rebirth. But he brings a rebirth from such a place of like beauty, and he holds you through it, you know? So the death and rebirth is not always a bad thing. It is a beautiful, liberating thing. What else do we have for the collective for this reading? Aurora's garden, beginning, initiate, and origin. You initiate people into their higher timelines. You just initiate people collective. Okay, and that's just something it is that you need to know. It's just your soul medicine. It's not even like you're trying to in any way, shape, or form. It's your soul medicine. It's what you're meant to do. It is your light work. But with that, you know, again, this means that when you meet people, when you have healing sessions with people, not that every time it's like some big death and rebirth, but you definitely hold the medicine of death and rebirth, which is so liberating. But it's some intense energy. It is not Aphrodite like putting pink glitter on you. It is death and rebirth, which can feel intense to people. And everyone has their own different reactions and things that can come up. So just being mindful of the work that you do. All right, so that's what I have for you. And just know that you're going to thrive. You're going to be so successful in the work that you do. You're going to attract soulmates. And the best thing you can do to ensure and to protect your future success as a light worker is just to have the boundaries and to allow people to come to you. Kind of like that quote, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And that's how you appear in people's lives. So that's what I have for you, collective. I do hope that it resonates. I'm sending you all so much love and so many blessings to your day.